Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Paper Pumpkin Thursday. So excited to be here yet again for another Paper Pumpkin. Oops, sorry, just trying to find my live, make sure that I am live, and if I'm live, if I'm in the right spot. So bear with me as I do that. It is a frigidly cold, not as cold as it has been the last couple of days, but a very cold time here in Wisconsin, and it was so windy. I had to take my kiddo to school this morning, and the drifts in our driveway were horrendous. So bad from the blowing overnight that I didn't have it in four-wheel drive right at the start, and I quickly realized that I needed to, and it was still pretty slick sledding, but yeah, so I hope everyone that joins tonight. So far we don't have anybody, so there we go. Hi Sandy, thank you so much for joining us. I don't know, just crazy. It was a wind chill of like below -30 yesterday, and it's a little bit warmer today, but still very not great weather. So, and I am doing my best to bring myself out of this illness that I've got. I ended up getting sinusitis, so I just started some medicine for that, and hopefully that will help get me some clarity in my head. And man, it's been a couple of weeks, and I'm ready for it to be behind me. Hello, Sherry, Faye, Sharon, and Millie. Thank you so much for sharing. Really appreciate that. I hope we've got some newbies who would join us via shares. That would be so cool. So yeah, Paper Pumpkin Night. I love doing Paper Pumpkin. I think I say this every time I do a Paper Pumpkin. Hello, Doris, Lisa, and Colleen. I have been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for quite a while. I mean, it's got to be at least 6-7 years. I started it just after I met my husband, actually, so it's been all of 7 years. And yeah, I so enjoy looking forward to the monthly Happy Mail. Oh boy, are we having a little bit of laggy issue? Hopefully not too much. And the cards or activities are always so just spot on. I'm really excited. And even when they're not quite hitting the mark for me, I always seem to have something I can do with it, some sort of alternative. So, hello, Linda, Randy, Kathy, Laurel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really hopeful that this medicine is gonna help. It just has not been great. So much just congestion and fog in my head, and it's like, can't think straight. Hello, Mary Ellen and Linda. Thank you for joining. We hope you are excited to be doing some Paper Pumpkin with us. Hi, Deb. So excuse me if I take some water breaks or have some yucky soundingness. That's the worst. And my husband hates that, and I get it. I don't like how it sounds, or but anyways, we'll put it behind us. So yeah, today's Paper Pumpkin is Valentine's themed, as it typically is in January. Prepping for, of course, Valentine's Day in the middle of February. There was some, I don't know if it was freight issues or supply issues that kind of delayed this delivery. So hopefully if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you've gotten yours by this point in time. I got mine the beginning of the week, if not very, very, very late last week. So a little bit of time to prep, which was good. I'm ready with my alternative. I'm pretty excited about it. It's maybe not my best alternative, but I still really like it. All right. Hello, Holly, Marcia. Watching the replay, your Paper Pumpkin just shipped yesterday. Yeah, so it was we were wondering whether we were going to get it in time to have Paper Pumpkin live. Even if it would have arrived today, I probably still would have tried to do it because, I can think on my feet with the alternatives, sometimes more successfully than others. But yeah, I was glad I got it with a little bit of time to think about it and prep. Sandy hasn't received hers yet either. Hello, Ellen. We'll have an email sending your way sometime soon. But yeah. Hello, Jeannie. Thank you for joining. All right, let's see here. We've already got 41 people live. I'll probably jibber jabber for a couple more minutes, see if anyone else stumbles in for us. And then we'll get to all the goodness of Paper Pumpkin Night. I haven't done too much card making in the last couple of weeks because I haven't felt so good. I actually had my my technique card pre-filmed last week, which was good because I didn't have it in me. I don't know, I had some side effects from the medicine this morning, and I kind of called in on work and was like, I can't. I spent the morning in bed. However, I was able to be productive this afternoon and got a lot of work done this afternoon, but man, this morning was real rough. I was dizzy. I had a headache, so but we are doing so much better now, so that is what we're looking forward to. Hi, Betty. Thank you so much for joining. And Sharon, you got yours on Tuesday. Yeah, I think mine came in Monday or Tuesday. Received yours on Monday. I hope everyone gets theirs soon. Yeah, I follow a couple of Paper Pumpkin groups, and that was kind of the chatter that, people were putting out their disappointment in not having received it, or their time frame on when they received theirs. So just trying to be patient. Obviously there are a lot of supply chain issues right now, and even more postage issues right now too. So not good. Hello, Karen. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, just kind of what we're dealing with in this crazy, crazy world these days. So many supply chain issues that just pop up in ways that, I had a construction project. We replaced our front door and our patio doors, and really delayed, probably about 6 weeks longer than we anticipated they would be, and that was just part of the game. So we're glad that it's done now, keeping us warm this winter, but it was a lot later than we had hoped it to be. So hi, Diane from Minnesota. Hello, Jennifer, who got hers on Tuesday also. Yeah, that must have been a big batch that got delivered on Tuesday. So I think we are going to flip her down and go ahead and crack open the goodies. So while I'm doing that, we've got roll call today. So these are subscribers. Thank you so much for sharing, Julie. Subscribers that are doing Paper Pumpkin in a subscription through Chris. So shout out if you're here. And hello, Patsy. Hello, Shirley and Elaine. Shout out if you're here and if you're crafting along, or if you didn't get your box yet, or just say hi. We've got Carmen Melendez, we've got Lynn Beasley, Amy Puntz, Elaine Rebeck, Kat Frontek, Sharon Roosh, Janet, Duchesne, Patsy Schultes, Jolene Schrei, Angela Kundelson, sorry, I'm really not good at that one either, Marge Haas, Lori Kaiser, Mo Stites, Barb Freund, Brenda Kerwig, and Patricia Wilger. So, thank you all for subscribing and crafting along with us today, or hopefully maybe crafting along at your convenience whenever it makes the most sense to you. We will do a random number generator and pick a winner of our subscribers, so I'll make sure to do that once I have my contents a little unpacked. Oh, I did want to point out, nice little reminder in here. Hello, Lisa. Here and ready to craft. Yours arrived on Tuesday, Mo. That is awesome. So here's a little sneak peek to what's coming next month. Something coming on the horizon. Grab your binoculars and headphones for a sneak peek at next month's kit. There's a curated playlist of tunes that reflects the theme of the kit. So make sure you're subscribed by the 10th of the month if you want to get in on that. And then on the back side here, so the kit comes with contents for cards. I think there's 9 cards. Okay, maybe 8. But there's an optional add-on treat box that you can purchase. I think it is about $10. And it includes the boxes, which are die cut and already scored and like ready to just kind of put into place. The gold cord and the heart tags. So super cute. You can purchase that if you are interested. So that would be in addition to the card. So it's a really cool additional option for you. Hello, Lisa, Julia, and Bonnie. Love all the hearts from Shirley. And yes, Donna, I agree. Hoping to get them soon. Hopefully most of the people who haven't received them yet get them real soon. I've been having some issues with some other orders too, where I actually still haven't gotten my dad's Christmas present yet. So I need to spend a little bit of time investigating that, because that was supposed to come quite a while ago. So crazy, crazy world out there. All right. So here are the contents. And I'm going to, you guys, I forgot to show off the technique cards. So I was going to grab my phone and do the random number generator. So let's do that first. 1 through 16. And our lucky winner is going to be number 11, which is Marge Haas. That's exciting. Congratulations, Marge, if you're watching along. And then I'm going to take an opportunity to show off excuse me, the technique card. So this card, I actually just posted it a little over an hour ago. With all of the crazy weather, we have had some pretty bad internet reception recently, so I wasn't able to get it uploaded until I got here. So you may not have seen this yet, but definitely head out to the Cards by Christine page and check it out if you are interested. This is what we made today. It's called the Flowering Sunburst Technique, and it's using the Flowering Tulips stamp set and actually corresponding dies for the little bike here. But this was my sample card, which was the first time I used it, and I learned the best thing about the technique videos is, getting the opportunity to try the things myself and learn from my own mistakes and then share that with you so you don't need to make the same mistakes. So it guided me to create a little template that made it easier. I just love how this turned out with the starburst type of effect on the background. So it's kind of like making my own little DSP. So check that out for sure. Excuse me again. All right. So back to the meat and potatoes here. Let's go ahead. You did order the add-on treat boxes. I was curious. How many people out there are Paper Pumpkin subscribers and are going to be creating this kit? And how many opted to do the add-on, just out of curiosity? I think it's really cute. Now that my kiddo is in school, I have a use for those types of things, for little Valentine's Day treats. I didn't do the add-on, but I actually used a past Paper Pumpkin kit that I hadn't done yet, and made his Valentine's treat boxes from that. So easy. And you know what makes it even easier? I had my mom do it. So I really got off on easy street this time. So just unpacking the contents here, we've got, oh, I hear you, Sonia. I love them. I feel for you. Hopefully someday we can make that happen. Hi, Chris. Didn't do the add-on. Yeah, I'll see. I might actually consider doing it because it was so nice to have that on hand for Zach for his school. So let's see what we've all got. So look at these beautiful envelopes. They're foiled on the inside and then they're Flirty Flamingo on the outside. Love them. Then we've got these very unique card bases coming in 2 different colors. So, hi Feline. We've got Very Vanilla with gold. And then this is, I think, Blushing Bride. Yes, Blushing Bride with gold. And they're little like trifold cards. So super cool. Love that. And I love the foil that is throughout the whole kit. There's foil on these pieces and these pieces. More punch out pieces and little vellum parts as well. Of course, all of the adhesives. And then these iridescent sequins, self-adhesive sequins, which is awesome. Then this month's spot is Gray Granite, and the stamps here have a big X and O, which is kind of strung throughout the whole theme of the kit. We've got a solid heart and an outline heart, the arrow, some dots, a little like Cupid's arrow heart, and then some words. So we've got love you, for you, friend, sending you love, and more. So very cute. Now, let's grab the instructions. So in our instructions, we are going to start with, okay, so it looks like they're starting with the pink card. So we'll do that one first. All right, so I need a pink card. I need one of these boxes. I need one of these hearts. Very pretty. Chris has a handy little tip that I learned from her, that when you have these like paper pumpkin where we've got like 5 sheets of the same, if you kind of wiggle them together that they're all lined up, you can punch all 5 out at the same time. Saves a little bit of time and effort. So that is what I'm going to do there. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these, and then for this kit, oh, it looks like we're using 2 of them. We also need the arrow, and that looks to maybe be all the pieces besides, of course, the embellishments. So let's get these guys punched out. All right, and then move the rest out of the way. I always like to point out when I do paper pumpkin that if you have your own stamping supplies, it is best practice just to use your blocks instead of, or excuse me, your stamp pad instead of the spots, just because it's a larger stamping surface, and I do much prefer the foam pad compared to the stitched or the woven pad. If you don't have the supplies, however, it is perfectly usable for creating the kit. That is one of the best things about paper pumpkin kits, is that they are self-sufficient. You don't have to have any other supplies to make your creations. So really great for stampers that are just starting out, or really great for, you know, just anyone who's dabbling in the hobby. All right, so we're taking one heart in this box, and we're saying friend and for you. So let's grab our stamps. The stamps that come with the paper pumpkin kits are exclusive to paper pumpkins. So if you love what you're seeing, I'm sorry to tell you, you are not able to get it unless they sell extra paper pumpkin kits, which sometimes they do. So don't fret. Sometimes you are able to track things like that down. But to be honest with you, that's one of the perks and gambles of being a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, because you always get a exclusive stamp set. And, you know, they've done a great job always of giving you a preview as to what the look and feel of the kit is going to look like. Never usually by disclosing the full look of the cards or anything like that. And usually you don't really get an idea of what the stamps are going to be either. So it definitely is a gamble, but oftentimes really pays off. All right, so let's throw them down. Okay, so we've got the stamping done. Now we are to assembly. So let's grab our dimensionals and our glue dots, and let's get going. All right, so I'm gonna pull these in. And where did I put my dimensionals? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know, moved them off to the side and out of sight, out of mind. Here we go. It's off in the abyss off camera that no one can see, but looks like quite a mess. Oh, hello. Hi, Carla, Philane, Sandy, and Donna. Thanks for sharing. Hello, Linda. All right, so here we go. We're going to flip the heart over and apply 4 dimensionals. It appears as though this time the kit came with mini dimensionals. So according to their little diagram, we should put 4 on there. Okay, and then on the back of the square, we're putting a glue dot. I always struggle with this, so I'm going to be proactive this time and just get my pick tool out, because that is always so helpful. And then we're also putting adhesive on the back of the heart. Now, it shows glue dots. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't do glue dots. However, it would be quite a bit simpler to use a liquid glue or pretty well any other form of adhesive. So if you do have other options for adhesives, I would recommend using them instead. All right, so then we've got our little arrow we're gonna flip on and put there. Then we are going to put the pieces together. This one's coming together fast. Okay, so the heart with the dimensionals goes on the XO panel. It has dimensionals on it, so that means it's gonna stick up, which is so cool. I love that. Then this piece that we just created, also going to be using dimensionals, is going to go on the plain panel in the middle. This kit is so beautiful. I don't know if it's the kind of simplicity of it or the gold tones are really hitting my vibes tonight, but I love it. Okay, so then this is going to go here. I did my arrow pointing the opposite direction that they did. I don't think it really quite matters, but all right. And then we've got our heart that is just being adhered flat. So we're gonna go ahead and put some liquid glue on there. Now this is going on the panel with the stripes. So it's a little more important that this one gets straight, because the stripes would really throw that off. Now this panel is for your writing of your sentiment. So you definitely want to make sure that that's nice and adhered. And then last, but absolutely certainly not least, we have some embellishments to put on. So we're using, oh cool, we're using these sequins, and we're going to use 6 of them, which might scare you because it's pretty well preached that you use an odd number of embellishments, but we're going to put 3, an odd number, on this panel. And then 3 more on the next panel. So really cool, I like that. The other thing that I so very much like about these paper pumpkins is they show you exactly where to put things. I always say that I struggle with random. Sometimes I feel like I'm knocking it out of the park and it really makes sense where the embellishments should go. And other times I really, really, really struggle. So I think those embellishments are perfectly placed, which is awesome because I didn't have to put the time and effort into figuring out where they needed to go. So that is our first one. You would go ahead and fold it like this. And then as you open it, you get to see all of the beautiful panels. So I love that. And then of course you slip it in this beautiful envelope. And you have a lovely love note for someone. So that is the pink card. And we're going to move on now to our vanilla card. So let's see what supplies we need for that. Okay, so I need to grab everything back. Okay, I grabbed my card base already. We need a vellum heart. We need both of the pink hearts. I love these die cuts. Just so easy to work with. So easy to really just complete your projects. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw away the scraps. Okay, so we need 1 each of these. Uh-oh. Okay, so I think I just got bumped out. Now, what does that mean for all of you? I'm just gonna kind of talk through here. Hopefully I can find where my live stream went. Hopefully I don't need to start it over. Okay, I think we're still here. So sorry about that little delay. I don't know what just happened, but I got really nervous that I lost everybody. So, all right, back to our supplies. Okay, I need 2 of the gold rimmed hearts. No problem here. Okay, good. I'm so glad that I didn't actually lose you guys. All right, so I think I have all of my supplies. Now I just need my stamps, which for this one is going to be for you. Also the arrow. And love you more. Okay, so first step is for you on the lighter pink, which is Blushing Bride. Again, we're going to bring in our ink pad and our block. All right, so for you, right in the center. Okay. Then we've got, oh, I need to clean that. Okay, so then it looks like we stamp the arrow first, and then we come back to add the words. So how I would suggest doing this. Okay. Stamp down your arrow as straight as possible in the middle. Okay. Then clean your stamp off and take it off the block. And then love you more. So I would just lay these where you want to stamp them. Because they're photopolymer, they kind of have a little tack to them. So they should just kind of stay down where you place them. And then hover over it with your block, push down to pick up your stamps, and now they'll be aligned where and how you want them. Take them over to your ink source, and then stamp. Perfect. All right, that should take care of the stamping. So let me do a little cleanup, because otherwise I will lose them. I actually found a stamp that I lost, I think, the last time for Paper Pumpkin. About 2 weeks ago when I was doing when I was doing my technique videos. I'm like, hey, that's where that little stamp went. I think it was stuck to my light over on the side here. So silly. Okay, done with the stamps. Now it is time for some adhesives. So, starting off the bat, I am going to liquid glue the little pink heart to the vellum. Now, you don't want to get too close to the edge that it squishes out onto the vellum, because you definitely will see it. But because you're gluing onto vellum, you don't need to worry about glue lines or anything like that. When you put adhesive on the back of vellum, if you put it in a, you'd want to put it in an inconspicuous place, because vellum is semi-transparent, so you will definitely be able to see the adhesive. Okay, and that then is going to have dimensionals on the back, so you want to keep them under the pink heart. I don't know if you can hear that, but we've got a helicopter coming through, so I think someone's not having a very good night. That would be our Flight for Life overhead. All right, then this piece gets adhered to our striped heart. All right, then we have this heart with our Love You More getting adhered to. Hello, Chris, how are you doing? Okay, so we're gonna put some liquid glue on the back of this heart, adhere it to the Flirty Flamingo heart. Then flip her over and put some dimensionals on this piece as well. Alrighty, so, you know, I'm gonna put a couple extra because I didn't like how I spaced them there. Chris has a Thursday night off. When is the last time Chris had a Thursday night off? It has been a long time. You're in Florida? I feel like I didn't even know that. Oh my goodness. So, news on the street is that Chris is in Florida right now. Oh man, I feel like... Oh, hi, Mom and Tom. That's fantastic. When did you guys leave? I hope you're enjoying what is hopefully fantastic weather. It's not so nice back home. That was the start of my life. All right, so we have a completed card. And again, we've got the accordion style here. So I just love this. You go ahead and open it like that. And so now, today, okay, that's what I thought. So, Chris has my mom working on a die cutting project for her. And she said that, her or her mom was going to drop the stuff off sometime today. And when I left to take my kiddo to school at like 7:30, the box was already there. And I don't know when she brought it or anything, but I'm like, wow, Chris and Janet are just like Johnny on it today. They had places to be. Huh, chilly but warmer than by us. Absolutely. It is not nice here. Okay, oh, you know what? I'm not done. We need to put some embellishments on here. Let's see here. All right, so that would be all right, so we're going to pop 3 onto each of the hearts. So we're going to put one here, another down here, and the third one kind of by the sentiment. 5 a.m. Okay, so that's so interesting to me because, oh, Stella, thank you. Our driveway was so drifted this morning. I couldn't even tell that you guys were there. And, ooh, that was spinning. And so a lot of that drifting must have happened between 5 and 7. All right, so we've got dun, 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 our embellishments on. Now let's go ahead and grab our Stella and our first card and get some Stella in action. So I think, uh-oh, Stella's getting a little loosey-goosey over here. I think I want to Stella around the perimeter here. You know, I don't usually use vanilla. Obviously, there's a time and a place for vanilla, but I am more drawn to like the cool colors, I think, which would be the blues and the whites. And I just love, obviously there's white and vanilla on this one, but the warmth of the vanilla is so nice. I like it. Okay, so got some Stella around there. And I want to add Stella to this as well. And I think I'm going to put it over the whole shebang. Okay, just got to get a little more in the brush tip. There she goes. Nothing says love like some nice controlled glitter. Oh, that's silly. Ooh, I love that. Love, love, love it. Okay, so that one's done. And I think for this one, I'm just going to go around each of the perimeters like I did on the first card. So bear with me as I do that, because that takes a little concentration. So is anyone that is a Paper Pumpkin subscriber crafting their kit along with me tonight? Please let me know. I'd love to know who I'm crafting with. And speaking of which, while I'm doing this, I need to check on how many months. So you can do Paper Pumpkin in 2 separate ways. You can either prepay for a 1, 3, 6, or 12-month subscription, or you can have it that it is a recurring monthly charge. I always go ahead and do the prepaid, and I always purchase my prepaid during sale-a-bration because, excuse me, yay, Julie's crafting along with me. How is yours coming, Julie? Because if you purchase during sale-a-bration, I always do the 12-month, which comes in a little over $200. But honestly, that you get so much for your money. And then because of that purchase, you qualify for sale-a-bration items. So if you are on the fence about subscribing for Paper Pumpkin, you could always consider doing a prepaid. Now, you don't need to do a 12-month prepaid, especially if you're just starting out and don't know if you want to do it or not. You could always do like a 3-month, which would be over 50. I think it's 60 something, maybe not quite 70. And then you'd qualify for a sale-a-bration item that way as well. So something to consider. Sale-a-bration is such a fun time of year. So many great freebies to be had. I'm loving a lot of the paper options that are available. There are some stamps as well that I definitely need to have. So I think it's time for me to update my Paper Pumpkin subscription so that I can get some of those things. All right. So I don't know if you can see that, but I did Stella around all of these perimeters and it looks so good. Ooh, thank you for crafting along with us, Ellen. That is so great. Now we are to the time of the night where I get creative and make a alternative. If you have crafted along with me and my Paper Pumpkin alternatives, it will not surprise you that once again, I'm going to be using the inside of the envelope for my alternative card. So I can't get over how beautiful this gold foil is on the vanilla. Sorry about that. Hi. Thanks for crafting along, Linda. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear so many people are doing their kits with me. Now, when you do your kits, hi Elaine. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Do you end up doing just one-offs like I do, or do you sit down and do the whole thing at one time? I'm very curious about that as well. My mom started going through our archive of Paper Pumpkin, and we have a lot sitting on hand. And she started putting them together. So she'll sit down with a kit and sit there until it is done, making all of the cards. And a lot of times she does alternatives because, you know, we want a lot of birthday cards. We like having thank you cards as well. So it's nice to make them exactly what we need them to be. So that is, sometimes takes a little longer. So for my alternative tonight, I'm going to be using a one-off. We'll do the others tomorrow. Okay. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for joining. I'm so glad that you're here. So I have a standard card base of 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, which gives you your standard card base. It is in the Flirty Flamingo color because I was totally going to be inspired by this beautiful envelope, and the outside of the envelope is Flirty Flamingo. And for those of you that don't know, you can always find the coordinating colors on the back, on the bottom. Let's see here, I got this all a little messed up. Blushing Bride, Flirty Flamingo, Gold, Gray Granite, Very Vanilla, and White. So if you ever wonder what they're trying to get at, because sometimes it doesn't look exactly the same. They did a very good job on this one. But sometimes, you know, it's just hard to know. So where did I put, here we go. Okay, so we need to trim down this envelope. So it does oftentimes seem very difficult to actually cut the envelope up, but in my opinion, I'm putting the envelope to better use because it's going to be the focal piece of this very beautiful card, rather than what I always just assume is what ends up in the trash after they receive their card. So that is just my personal preference. If you do this, you will have to either hand deliver the cards that you made from the kit, or you always could put them in just standard envelopes, which for this I would suggest using the Very Vanilla. So I'm going to make a traditional mat. So that mat will be 5 1/4 by 4. So let's go ahead and cut this down. Like, it's not making sense in my head right now how I need to be doing this. So this is probably a little backwards. But it is what it is. Okay, so we need 5 1/4. So we're making a full mat for this. Okay, so here are our first 2 pieces. Then, going to, so I was actually inspired by the back of this, and I'm going to use the blending brushes and Flirty Flamingo to put some extra pop of color, and I love the gradient that the blending brushes give you. So I'm very excited about that. You can see here, I was working on the alternative prior to filming. I might have been 30 seconds to maybe even a minute late in starting because you know how you sit down and start to create and time just gets away from you? Well, that definitely happened to me because I looked up and I had a good 10 minutes left, and so then I started working on the sentiment and the focal piece for this, so that sometimes I really just wing it. Other times I have the time and opportunity to do it completely ahead of time. It's kind of just a horse apiece what I have the time for, and today I definitely wanted to make the time to plan ahead because I knew that my head was a little foggy from all of this sickness that's settling in my head, and I just didn't want to freeze up on the spot with you guys. So I do have the card literally like 90% done to my right over here that I was working on before the live. And so I was working on that sentiment piece, and all of a sudden I look up and it was 5:57, which still gave me some time, but there is a little bit to getting the equipment set up. Not too bad, but it's like, okay, gotta keep moving. I got some stuff to do. So, that's okay. So I got my giddy up and gear and hopped on. So, all right. Just gonna pick up a bunch of that Flirty Flamingo ink, and I really want to make a very intentional gradient, so I'm trying to put more color towards the bottom. I have the top part of the gradient. I like how that is, so I'm going to try to stay as much away from that as possible because it is really really easy to go overboard with blending, because if you keep putting more and more and more on, all of a sudden it gets dark and you can't take the ink away. It just doesn't work like that. And I have a feeling here that this Flirty Flamingo maybe needs some re-inking because I'm putting a lot of elbow grease into laying this ink down, and I'm actually trying pretty hard as well to pick it up off the pad. Usually you don't need to put quite as much emphasis on that. So I'll probably set this one aside and make sure it gets re-inked before the next time it gets used. But we're almost done here with this gradient. Yes, Elaine, I hope for your sanity as well that he keeps that to himself. And I think I said this maybe on one of my technique videos, I am the last person in the house to get this. Obviously, as a mom, you know, you pretty well don't have any out once the illness comes into the house. I think it started with my husband, who then ended up getting the kiddos sick. And then everyone got over it before I got sick. So I really thought I was out of it, or out of the woods, but I wasn't. And then, of course, Just can't shake it. So I am just about done here. I got my workout in. That was a lot of blending there. Okay, so then step number 3 or 4 or wherever we're at is to adhere down the piece of DSP that we basically just made. Okay, and I want it to go from light to dark. So make sure your card is laying the right way. And then glue down your card, or glue down your mat onto your card base. I love, love, love liquid glue because it gives you that little bit of time to give it some wiggle if it's not quite straight. So there is your card base. Oh, I just love it. I love, love, love it. Okay, so, excuse me, I'm going to take a little drink break. What I try to keep in mind when designing alternatives is I a lot of times like for you to be able to make the kit and then make the cards in addition. So like for this, I didn't really want to use all of the pieces and I wanted to give it a little bit of a different feel as well. So the cards that we made from the kit were very based around the hearts, the heart shapes. So I didn't really want to use any of those heart shapes. So I used the envelope, and then I'm going to use the stamp and the inks as well, so that, again, that's what comes in the kit. So I want you to be able to find more mileage out of the things that you already have. So I am going to grab a scrap of Very Vanilla, and I'm going to create, so these stamps aren't very big, so they don't take up a lot of real estate for your focal image. Also, I didn't want to add any more X's and O's because we got a lot of X's and O's on here already. So I'm really going to focus on these 2 stamps and then a sentiment. So I'm going to grab the hearts. And I'm kind of going to build a design down in the corner, kind of, per se. I'm going to start with the solid heart. I'm going to stamp the solid heart in Flirty Flamingo, which is over here. And I'm going to put it down, let's see here, over here-ish. Pretty particular-ish. Clean that off. And then move to the outline, which is in Gray Granite, which is the spot color that came with the kit. And then for that reason, I'm also going to use Gray Granite for the sentiments. So let's go maybe like this. Gray Granite is pretty light. It is one of the lighter grays. When I was making the alternative prior to the video, I did struggle a little bit with how the Gray Granite was kind of melding with the gold, but I ended up being okay with it. I don't know. I didn't track down the gold paper. I don't know if I would have used it anyways. Sometimes these things are very evolutionary and just kind of come together, and a lot of times what you have in mind isn't what you end up using anyways. And so I couldn't find my gold, and so I just found something else and went with the Gray Granite route, and pretty happy with it. All right, so then I wanted a little bit more of a sentiment. These are all pretty short. or small. So I did love you, and then I'm going to put more. Just got to be a little careful with how you stamp that because it is 2 separate stamps, so it is easy to make them not quite line up, which obviously would not be the intention. Okay, now I need to trim this down because it is still a little bit too big. So I'm going to grab my trimmer. And let's do... Let's see here. I'm gonna do a little cheatsies right here and measure what I did. Oh yeah, I didn't do, so it's not gonna be the same. I had 3.5 by 1.5. So 1.5 is a little too much. Oopsies. That maybe was not quite enough room, but you know, it works. Oh, haha, that got pretty tight too. Well, now, do I think I'm going to do it over? I don't like how I cut that. So, bear with me. This is live TV at its finest. And this is the size I wanted it to be anyways. So, we're going to do some more stamping because that's what we just love to do, right? I also didn't get a great inking on the flamingo heart from the get-go, so I'm not opposed to restamping this one. Alrighty, here we go. Round 2. Everything's easier the second time, right? Okay, so this is going to go right about there. Better inking on it from the start. All right, then we're gonna switch to gray granite. The heart, love you more. All right, so, ooh. Definitely always want to keep our stamp pads closed because oh, it's just a mess waiting to happen. So now we've got the hearts down. Go ahead and stamp the sentiments. Hopefully I left enough room for the word more. Oh, just enough. All right, love you more. One definitely looks better. All right, thank you for that extra couple of minutes to make the magic happen. Oh yeah, no one's perfect, right? Okay, so now I'm going to mat this piece in Flirty Flamingo and a gray granite. So let's go ahead and do that. Had some fringes hanging off the edge there. I don't love that. I am doing everything backwards tonight. That is not... I should cut it before I glue it. I'm still dealing with the frogginess. All right. Let's see here where I put my little cutter. All right, so this should likely be 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. Beautiful. Oh, and that fits on that scrap. Lovely. Let's get this cut down to 2. Ooh. Was not straight. By 4. Alrighty. Some days are like that. Oh, man. That was definitely my day today. Did not get off to a good start. Fortunately, my husband has the day off today. He works a rotational shift as a prison guard. So I got to get the rest that I needed to recover from whatever medicine gunk was going on in my body. All right, so that is our piece. And now, as I love to do, I'm going to run the lamb technique along the bottom to give it some more size and texture. So I'm going to run some tear and tape along the bottom and then bring in the metallic ribbon, which is Flirty Flamingo and gold. So like you couldn't ask for a better combination, at least for this kit. And you're going to stick the ribbon tail down and then weave back and forth along the bottom here. There is absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. It is 100% however you like how it looks. So, you know, and some people don't like how this looks, and that is perfectly okay. The thing that I really like about it is, like I said, it gives extra texture and width, or in this case height, I should say, and it's very temporary. Like if I get to the end and I don't like how it looks, I can peel it back up and start over before I put my last strip of tear and tape down, which will hold it nice and snug in place. So flip it over. I like it because I really like that kind of technique. So if you caught that, I called it the lamb technique. I've been doing this for probably not quite a year. It was maybe one of the techniques that I did for a technique video or something like that. And just started using it more often. And then because I was using it all the time, just eloquently gave it that nickname, and it kind of stuck. Okay, so then the last thing is I'm going to put dimensionals behind this. And pop her up. So the kit came with mini dimensionals, so I'm just smothering the back of this with mini dimensionals. If I was using the regular size dimensionals, definitely would not need this many. Because there are so many layers of paper, it's 3 layers of paper and then some ribbon. It's got some weight to it, so you definitely don't want to skimp, but don't need quite that many. So to finish this, is what Chris calls a tear and tape sandwich. So you've got tear and tape on the bottom, tear the waxy paper off, put your ribbon down, and then put tear and tape on the top, but leave the waxy paper on so that it doesn't get stuck to anything. All right, then bring your card base back in. Oh, I see I have a little tail that needs to be trimmed off. Okay, so here is where I was saying I don't know exactly how I love the gray granite with the gold. It's not horrible. I think if I was a little more prepared, I would have done maybe instead of the gray granite, just a gold matte. And then maybe a basic gray for my stamping, but it's not bad by any means. Now I need to, this is as far as I got, actually, this is as far as I got with my sample card. I didn't get it down with the dimensionals yet, but I pulled over the metallic. Hi Marcia, thank you so much for joining. No problem on being late. That is the great thing about having replay. So I brought the gold metallic dots over, which I think would be great. The other thing that I thought about were these iridescent, but I think I'm going to stick with the gold. I love these iridescent rhinestones. I feel like I could use them for everything, but I think for this one, I'm just going to stick with the gold theme. Thanks, Darcy. I'm glad you like it. And I think I'm going to kind of put a bunch of embellishments on here. Chris picks on me in a very loving way about how I like to bedazzle the cards with an abundance. Oh, see, here we go. Take our pick tool. That's what I need. With an overabundance of embellishments. She isn't wrong. It is absolutely warranted. I think some of that stems from the fact that, like I said, I don't really know how to do random very well. So I feel like I don't love this corner up here that's so empty. So, oh, and I think I should Stella this pink heart. It's all these little finishing touches. You know, I think I'm going to Stella the gray granite layer too. Which would have been a lot easier before I glued them together. So again, bear with me as I try my fine motor Stella skills. Good choice with the gold. I'm glad you like it, Elaine.